Nah, I'm just kidding, it's me. No, I know what you're probably thinking. Who's this imposter dressed up in an RMC shirt? Well, that's me. I'm the East Coaster fan. I really want to start connecting more with me and you as the viewer. And one of the ways I thought I could do this is by telling you more about my life and how I became a coaster enthusiast. So as some of you may already know, my home park is Adventureland in Long Island. Not the one in Iowa, although sometimes I wish it was that place. But other than that park, I live sort of close to Splish Splash, although you might not see anything from there on my channel just because they have strict filming policies on their website. Other than Adventureland and Splish Splash, Luna Park in Coney Island is also nearby. And then I'd say Six Flags Great Adventure is another one of my home parks that I often visit. So I first got into the amusement park industry when we were driving by Broad Hollow Road one day. This is the road where Adventureland is on. And I saw in the distance that there were these rides there. And originally I thought, oh look, it's a carnival. So when I went there for the first time, I rode all the kiddie rides such as the Caterpillar, the kiddie swings, and some of the rides that aren't even there anymore, such as the Free Whale and Flying Clowns, which remain one of my favorite rides to ever be there. But I felt something different when I rode them. I felt a type of enjoyment that I couldn't really get from playing with toys or playing with video games. I feel like it was something a lot more. Now, we were also able to make these trips out to other amusement parks, one of which is Land of Make-Believe, which is a park that none of you probably know about, but is this really underrated gem in New Jersey. We also went to Dutch Wonderland a few times, and then one time when we were going to Dutch Wonderland, we made a pit stop at Hershey Park. Now, I believe this was sometime around when Fahrenheit was added, or when the boardwalk was added. All I remember is that I rode the Ferris wheel, and when we got to the very top, I saw the boardwalk and was instantly fascinated. That was really when I got my love for water parks, too. Now, as some of you know from my brief history of Mr. Six video, you know that I got interested in Six Flags because of the Mr. Six commercials. So I believe in 2008 we made our first trip to Six Flags Great Adventure. Again, we didn't ride any of the big rides, but we sure did have fun in Wiggles World.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy fruit salad.
This was also the year where we went to Walt Disney World for the first time. And let me tell you, flying to Walt Disney World and spending our vacation there was so much fun. From what I can remember, we stayed at Old Key West, and we did almost everything. It was amazing. Now, I think 2009 was the time when I officially became an enthusiast. The first thing that we did was we went to Great Wolf Lodge for the first time. And I know I haven't posted anything from there, mostly because I was too young. But I think the best way that I can describe Great Wolf Lodge is magical. And that's not because of Magic Quest. But then the other thing we did in 2009 was we had our first trip down to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and Water Country, USA. Now I can officially say that these parks have changed my life forever. It today remains as one of my favorite parks, if not my favorite park I've ever been to. Water Country, USA also remains as one of the best water parks I've ever been to. I almost love every single slide there. And even the ones they've added aren't that bad either. Another thing I want to commemorate Busch Gardens for a lot is all the roller coasters. The roller coasters at Busch Gardens are what really made me a coaster enthusiast. The Loch Ness Monster was my first looping coaster. Alpengeist was my first invert. Apollo's Chariot was my first hyper. And let me tell you, when I first rode Apollo's Chariot, that was something. We loved this park so much that for the past 10 years, I think, give or take 2 times, we've gone every single year. Now, I can't say that about every park. Even Six Flags Great Adventure, which is not that far away. But Busch Gardens Williamsburg is something special, and I implore you, if you haven't been there already, to go there. After our trip down to Williamsburg, I feel like my attitude towards roller coasters really changed. I suddenly went on my parents' computer and started watching a bunch of roller coaster POVs, which was something really interesting at the time. And then when I was watching my coaster POVs one day, I came across this YouTube channel called The Coaster Guy 14. His channel had something different that I've never seen before called Park Battles. And as much as I love to make fun of him, as I did with this, I can say that Coaster Studios really impacted me and made me want to become an enthusiast. He, along with many of the other roller coaster YouTube channels, have really helped me expand my knowledge. I suddenly began watching many of the Six Flags announcement videos. I was getting excited when new coasters would open. I was looking at rumors of when new coasters were being built. So I think I could say that my interest in roller coasters really began online. With all that taking place, we'd always incorporate amusement parks somehow into our vacations. However, they'd be many of the same places that we visit, like Busch Gardens over and over and over again. Eventually, though, I wanted to expand a little bit and visit some of the parks I'd never seen before. So I believe back in 2016, during our trip to Hershey Park, I decided, hey, we should go to Kennywood. And that's what we did. We spent a day at Kennywood, and I was able to ride Phantom's Revenge, which I still rank as one of my highest roller coasters. Another park that we have only visited a couple of times, but I love it every time we go, is Dorney Park. Again, there was a time when I was younger where we would just ride the kiddie rides, but I returned to that park, rode all the big coasters, and it's really an underrated park, let me tell you. So as I began traveling more and more, coasters became more a part of my regular life. And I want to spread that somehow. So I thought, hey, why don't I bring it full circle and create a coaster YouTube channel? And that, I'd say, is the creation of East Coaster Fan. I wouldn't be able to have this interest if it weren't for both my family, who was willing to go on these trips with me, and I'd say everyone online, from the Coaster POV channels, to all the blogs, and to even Coaster Studios himself. Now, along with the YouTube channel, I've also had an interest in other things. I have a big interest in music, which you might see a lot of it in my videos. That's why. Interest in movies, so that's why during my brief history, you see a lot of pop cultural clips from movies and TV shows. And I also have an interest in video games. I've played many hours of Planet Coaster. I've played a little bit of No Limits, but I feel like it needs to get a little bit more practice. And that brings me to today. I have a coaster count of about 121. That is a number I am really proud of. And I am also a member of ACE. So I feel like I'm able to meet others who share an interest with me. Now there's one other big story that I've been neglecting, but I think I'm gonna have to make that its own separate video, just because the experience was really, really amazing. Well, that's my story as a coaster enthusiast. If you want, you can leave comments down below telling me about your story about how you became an enthusiast. Or you can leave comments on my face, I don't care. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!